Hey there, and welcome back to Arlin Plays EarthBound, episode 33. Last time, we took a look in several museums, watched Venus do her thing up on stage, got an autograph from her, and used it to get into the sewers. Or at least, that's what I would presume. Oh, look at that! We're in the sewers. With rats and everything. If a sewer doesn't have rats, it's just, it's not really a sewer. It's about standards. Nest dug around in the trash can. Well, let's see here. There's a croissant inside. Nest takes it. Because, this is a totally sanitary place to be digging in the garbage. Yes. Yep. Seems legit to me. Hopefully those rats will be gone. Or there could just be bugs. I am okay with this. Filthy attack roach and its cohort. Alright, you know what, Paula? Set them on fire, please. Jeff, you can spy on them, and Pooh, why don't we have you use PSI Thunder? 40 HP of damage. Wow, they are fast. Still, at least they didn't get Paula in it. Alright, looks like they are weak to fire. Vulnerable to fire and freeze and paralysis and brain shock. Wow, they're vulnerable to a lot of things. Alright, one of them hits, so not too bad. Alright, if they are vulnerable to freeze as well, however, let's have him take out that. Jeff, let's have you use the Hungry HP Sucker to hit both of them. And Pooh, let's have you freeze the not quite so damaged one. That's something I need to check. I don't know if Pooh uses the exact same spells or if they do different damage based on it's him casting them. I say spells as if they actually, use that term in this game. Functionally, it's the same thing. That is one thing I do find kind of interesting in a lot of games. There are times when various powers, functionally they're all magic when it comes down to it. I mean, they all do miraculous things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do. But sometimes it's labeled as, okay, this is psychic powers. Sometimes this is magic, like just straight up it's magic. Sometimes it's labeled as particularly potent technology. And there is a door there that I can't explore because I went the wrong way. Time to run back. So this is kind of interesting, this slog here. I hope that I don't deal with too many enemies down here because I can't avoid for crap like this. I will say that I do think that the slowing down of your movement when you're going through the, sewers is actually something helpful for this area. Like, it makes it much more of a slog, which, on the one hand, is annoying to the player, but at the same time, you're going through a sewers, it's not supposed to be all that pleasant. Or at least, it looks like this is a sewer that doesn't get rain very regularly. Okay, looks like we've got two more things to fight. Deadly mouse and a stinky ghost. Well, Ness, I'm gonna have you rocking them in the face, because that seems like a wise decision. Let's see, let's have you freeze the stinky ghost, you spy on him just to make sure. Pooh, why don't you bash the mouse? Pooh not... Jesus! 122 damage? Well then, I guess we know which one that we should be getting rid of. Oh, it's not... Oh. Well then. Apparently I shouldn't be trying to freeze it, because it won't do all that much. Alright. Let's rock them both in the face. It's costing me a lot, but on the other hand, I don't know what else to do here. Let's thunder them. Jeff, you can HP Sucker. And Pooh, you know what? You can heal Paula, because Paula's not going to get HP back otherwise. Zap. There we go. Life of Beta, good. Hungry HP Sucker. Come on, get something. There we go. Okay. So it appears that the amount that the HP Sucker takes is based somewhat on a percentage of their health, but it's not a percentage of their current health, because otherwise you would never defeat anything with it. There we go. Leveling up is excellent, even if you don't get full health. But, as I was saying, the whole sewer thing, like, you can find useful things in it. I mean, hell, I just found something that's going to be turned into something that's most likely going to be sellable. Because if I remember correctly, the broken iron is what becomes the slime generator, which I don't use. Alright, and then this is where I actually have to slog through. because apparently Ness and his friends are incapable of moving barrels, even though they have, you know, psychic powers. And if you believe the Smash Brothers side of things, telekinesis is part of that. Oddly enough, Ness's ability to jump in that game is shown in any way in the game he's actually from. Clearly, he should jump using the Bubble Monkey. There we go. So we're back to the Stinky Ghost, who is weak to paralysis, I believe. And let's actually see if he's got PP to steal. I don't think he does, but I'm not 100% sure. Apparently not, which is unfortunate. Alright, let's take you out. There we go, and now he is not a threat in any way because, well, if he doesn't have PP, he can't use special abilities. Interestingly enough, even the background right now works pretty well for being in a grungy sewer. I mean, you've got the random green kind of clashing very nicely there. It's like they're actively trying to make a sewer unpleasant. How bizarre. Okay, this is taking forever. There we go. Blunt force trauma to the cranium wins again. And Pooh is gaining levels fast, which is good. Using some prior knowledge, and actually we don't even have to be using knowledge from previous times that I played the game. We know from what the sailors said that the Kraken attacks ships along the way to Scaraba. So, going into a boss fight right away doesn't appeal to me very much. I don't know about you guys, especially with a guy who's completely new and is half the level of the rest of the party. That just doesn't appeal to me. Alright, let's see. And that appears to be a normal trash can rather than an enemy. Interesting. We'll have to go get it. Also a door to explore. We're the explorer of doors, but we are not Dora in any way, shape, or form. Son of a crap. Alright, nope. Let's try not to have to fight them. Haha! Despawning for the win! I do find it interesting, though, that they don't... Like, they have you wash off after fighting Belch, but I don't think they ever, like, force you to wash after going through the sewers. Fun fact, though, in most actual... Again, with this color scheme. Okay, I do think that the backgrounds are based somewhat on where you would encounter the enemies. Anyway. Alright, Paula, set them on fire. Not the low one, we want the good one. Because you've got the PP, and why not? Let's see, Pooh... You know what, we can find out if they have PP. I don't think they do, but... A continuous attack, also known as I'm going to attack twice for free. Just because. And holy crap, Paula. You are taking a beating. They're resistant to every HP second. That is most unfortunate. Okay, so we got one taken out. Alright, let's go all out on this sucker and see if we can't finish him off before he destroys someone like that. Come on. Come on, Ness. Finish him off. There we go. Rolling HP meter again. But yeah, most sewers don't actually get that gross. Just, well, I should rephrase that. They can, but in areas where there's a lot more rain, it tends not to pile up, which is what you are seeing here, is just that pile up. So, just a fun little thing that I discovered when researching for D&D settings, actually. Because primarily that is what sewers are there for. And hello, spawning room! They're primarily there to deal with water runoff from rain. Or other things, you know, car washes, whatever else. So, yeah. Side tangents. They are great, aren't they? Of course, to be fair, there's not a whole lot to analyze here. The fact that this is kind of a relatively straight shot, though, I mean, aside all you know, perspective and scale issues aside, because honestly, this is not really a game where you want to be judging that all that much. This definitely does give a feel of I'm in a city area, because I mean, everything that we've encountered down here thus far has either been based on garbage or based on something that already lives in a city. So, I can work with this. Also, apparently we need to go back in there in a minute. Yeah, 111 is what he sits at normally. And what do we got here? Rust Promoter DX. Well, that's useful against certain enemies. The deluxe version causes almost instantaneous rusting when used on metallic enemies during battle. For 100 points of damage gone after one use, so useful. And I do find it nice that they balance the fact that the damage is high, and it does it to all enemies, with the fact that it only does it to enemies of certain types. And I'm kind of curious how the game stores that. Whether they just, you know, if it has like a hidden enemy type, or if it's just a flag that says, okay, you know, vulnerable to rust promoter equals true, or whatever. I don't know. Because I know it's basically meant for robots, and that is very much the pattern. But it is, and how poo. It's amazing how defense works in this game. Of course, if I remember correctly, the difference between 0 and 10 defense and 200 and 210 defense is not the same. I think that the lower you get, the worse it gets, considerably, but again, without seeing the background code, I can't tell you. Though speaking of deluxe items, we actually do have a winner for what the next game that I play is. By a whopping 1 vote, I will be playing Link's Awakening. And I figured it was actually tied on which version of it I would play. So I ended up deciding to go with the original just because I've played the deluxe one. I haven't played the original. And honestly, you guys don't need color. You're not spoiled. You know, I say that and then people are going to complain, but that's okay. And I do apologize if I've already said that, but, as they say, better to reiterate and be sure that you guys are aware of it. Especially since I'm sure some of you were actually wondering what actually won. Entertainingly enough, I didn't expect Star Fox Adventures to get nearly as many votes as it did, and they are apparently poisonous. That's one heck of a mutant rat. There's something interesting, and I'm pretty sure that I know how this one works, but I am curious to know if it bases when it chooses the accuracy for PSI Thunder. I'm curious to know if it decides it based on what enemies are present at the start when you first activate the ability, or if it does it again with each blow because something might have died. I'm pretty sure it just does it based on what is there when you first use the ability. And why are there so many mice? They're everywhere. Alright, you know what? I'll take the filthy attack roach, even though he can murder Pooh in one fell swoop. Or one swell swoop. But apparently it's going to lose a turn. I'm cool with this. And the only person who missed was the one person who isn't going to do much damage, because unfortunately he's low level and doesn't have a weapon. Because I don't have the Sword of Kings yet. Oh, and that's the other nice thing. I mean, even though the game never explicitly tells you that Pooh works differently equipment-wise, you can see it when you go to equip things. So it doesn't need to flat out explain this about the character. And when you find something that's something of Kings, and you check the help, it flat out says items for Pooh, and explains what other effects it does. Filthy attack roach, round 857. There we go. Filthy attack roach became tame. And we're actually doing pretty well on PP for this fight. So here we go. And it occurs to me that I don't think I've stocked up on bottle rockets again. Son of a crap, I did not. I keep forgetting to do that. Why do I keep forgetting to do that? I'll do that between episodes, I'm thinking. You finally got here. This is the 5th Your Sanctuary location. But it's mine now. Take it from me, if you dare. Plague Rat of Doom attacked. Alright, well. Apparently I don't have anything that can shield us all at once, so I'm going to flash him in the face and see if that does something. Paula, you can freeze him. Jeff, start by spying. And what do you have shield-wise? Aha, shield Sigma. Yes. This is a good combo. Let's start with this. Hopefully this will keep us from dying terribly. I don't think you can have 2 different shields up, so I think you can only... Oh, wow, it's not weak to anything. Alright. And Ness is poisoned. Awesome. What? I just instant killed the Plague Rat of Doom with Psi Flash. Like, it didn't do damage, you just killed it. That's really funny, actually. I've never had that happen in all the times that I've played this game. Of course, I also tend not to use Flash on very many things, because it's expensive and there's no guarantee that it's going to do something useful, so I tend to avoid it, because I like consistent effects. This is also why I tend to avoid things like Fire Blast in Pokemon, because I dislike the lower accuracy. And now, Ness's poison is cured, miraculously. Ness saw a baby's bottle, but just for an instance. Just for an instant, not instance. I can talk. Ness's soundstone recorded the melody of Magnet Hill. This is a hill. Although I suppose it would be kind of difficult to actually show a hill very well unless you like showed the cliff outside this thing or something. Regardless. Ness opened the chest. Whoa! There's a carrot key inside. Paula takes it. Carrot key. Help. Carrot key. A special type of bunny's favorite carrot. Aha. Special type of bunny, huh? Well, we only know of one type of bunny thus far. So let's go take a look at it then, shall we? Whoops, not life up. We want to teleport. Apparently I can't teleport in here because even though we're outside, it is still considered to be part of this dungeon. That is unfortunate. Alright, well, then we get to slog back through. I'm kind of curious how they chose the different guardians for the Your Sanctuary locations. I mean, they definitely took pains to make it so that it's always an enemy that has some relevance to the area in terms of there's always like a smaller version of it running around. I mean, not literally a smaller version of it, but like, you know, the first one, there were ants roaming around, and then there's the Titanic ant. There were moles running around, and then there's the Mondo mole. But beyond that, I'm not actually sure how they decided the different things that they would throw in. It's of minor importance, I guess, because, I mean, in the end, they're just an obstacle. I say that as if they have zero importance. But regardless. And now that this place is taken care of, we can actually just, you know, avoid fights if we want. Weird. Alright, Filthy Attack Roach. Come on. There we go. 122 HP of damage to Pooh! Oh noes! Fortunately, rolling HP. So, fun fact. Well, actually, no, never mind. I was going to tell you about something, but we'll find out about it later on our own anyway, so I'm going to avoid it for now. And since I forgot to grab this on the way in... Broken spray can inside! That's defense spray! Give it to Jeff, who is running out of room. I'm gonna have to fix that if I'm gonna give him bottle rockets. Or maybe just to test it, why don't I just do it without bottle rockets? At least, well... That's a tough call, because bottle rockets do speed things up considerably, but... Okay, what's going on here? Alright, looks like I'm having some tech difficulties here, so... at this point, because, well, we're out of time anyway, I'm going to call it for this episode. And when I come back, I will be out of this sewer. So, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you join me next time.